Welcome to the Copper King Mine and Railroad. Today we're going to take a short cab ride on the top 3 levels. It's going to be short because there's a lot of tunnels up here. Then we're going to take a look at Bingham Canyon's tunnels. So stay tuned.
We're taking a cab ride on the top 3 levels of the Copper King mine. This cab ride's going to be short because of all the tunnels. So this is some of the tunnels on the layout. Bingham Canyon mine, Kennecott, had many tunnels. We'll be talking about that. The top level has a point-to-point with an automatic reversing switch. The next 2 levels is a top continuous loop. It's high mountains up here, and so it needs a lot of tunnels to access the mine. If you're noticing some of the portals, well, most of them are extremely large and not to scale. Well, that's because I wanted access to all of the rail. I can reach my arm most all the way through these tunnels to clean the track and for derailments. Also, there's 2 trap doors to reach inside some remote tunnels. There's quite a few tunnels on this layout. I think I counted 16 on my layout. Now, Bingham Canyon Mine, they had a lot too. They had 3 in the pit, plus many out in the dumps, and I don't know how many out in the dumps. And then 4 on the main line, the B&G, the old B&G line. So they had a lot of tunnels at the mine. Like I said, we'll talk about those. Now this is interesting, this picture coming up. This has 3 tunnels right here close together. That one's for the top point-to-point. And the center tunnel is one for a switchback that reach that point-to-point. And then the third one right there is just the top continuous loop tunnel. So that's that area right there. So there's 3 right close together. See back in there a little bit with them. This is the main tunnel over by the mill area. You can see how large these are, but like I said, it's nice to be able to reach inside there and clean that rail. You don't want to have a wreck inside one of your tunnels. Now these are smaller up here because these are access to a trap door. Yeah, this one will be a smaller tunnel too because this is access to the trap door also. I'll show you. I think I'm going to do a video on the back scenes of the mine. So all of the hidden little areas. So this is the tunnels, and we're going to talk about, next we're going to talk about the tunnels of Bingham Canyon. So there you are. When open cut mining began, there was a mountain. Here's the picture of the mountain right here. That was 1906. The mountain was slowly removed. You can see a picture here that 20 years later, and the mountain is being ate away. The ore trains moved down the hill to the Bingham and Garfield yard, where large trains were made up for the trip to the mill. Once the mine went below A level, the pit started to form. Now they had to haul the loads up the hill to B&G line. Levels below A level were named their elevation every 50 feet. Example, A level was 6340, and then 6290, 6240, 6190, and on down. A series of 3 tunnels were cut into the mine over the years to keep the trains moving downhill. The first one was the 6040 tunnel. Here's the picture of the 6040 tunnel. And here's another picture of the 6040 tunnel a year later. Now here's the exit of the 6040 tunnel. It came out just below the town of Bingham. Here's another picture of it years later, the exit. Now here's a picture of them working on exit of the 6040 tunnel, this panoramic one. And then the next picture is one of the next tunnel down, what was 5840 tunnel. And you can see the 6040 tunnel is top right there, that little portal coming out, and then the 5840 was the one about in the middle of the picture, so both tunnel exits are right there. To meet up with the Bingham and Garfield line, they had to cross the canyon. So they built this double tunnel, one side for vehicles, one for trains, then filled in around it. I thought that this is really neat, I think. So they built the tunnels, and then you can see them filling in around this tunnel. This is right here where it crossed the canyon. And this is a really great picture. This is showing both lines, the higher, older B&G line and then the Cross Canyon line were connected with that. So here's a picture of all three of them in the pit. It's kind of hard to see because they're so little, but all three tunnels are right there in the mine. And then the last tunnel was the 5490 tunnel. It was over a mile long. It came out at the mouth of the canyon by the town of Copperton. A new ore line was built in 1948 to connect to it. In the pit, the 5490 tunnel was built before the bottom of the pit reached it, so they had to make a spiral drop cut to connect it. So here's some great pictures of them building these tunnels. On the B&G line itself, they had 4 tunnels. And this is a map of it, and the 4 tunnels. And we talked about the Markham. This is the picture of the Markham Bridge, and it went right into the 4th tunnel right there. Here's a great picture of the tunnel on the B&G line. Then the other tunnels around the mine was the tunnels that led to the dump. There was a lot of those. Now this is an interesting picture. You see the one tunnel right here, but there's these 4 men up on this mountainside, and they're outlining, looks like a future tunnel they want to build. I thought that was a neat picture. Just some more pictures of the tunnels out in the dump. This one is a later picture when they started burying these old tunnels. Then this one is a train exiting the pit.